Hey, what's up, guys? Myself, Fredo Cervantes here. Tuesday, March the 7th. And guess what? These are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You
know what it is.
Hey, what's up, guys? Myself, Fredo here, back live on These Are the Breaks, live from the Infinity Studios here in Los Angeles. What a great weekend it was. A lot of exciting things going on in the basketball world, and as well, college basketball is just ending right now. March Madness is right around the corner. As well as tomorrow, it is the game one of the World Classic Baseball. So for any baseball fans out there, the World Classic is here. So everyone, make sure you guys all stay tuned to watch that. Of course, there's a lot on the agenda today that we're going to go ahead and discuss here today. There was a lot of big wins over the weekend. There was a lot of big wins last night as well. We had a major, I don't know how major is going to get, but it's only getting bigger with Ja Morant having one of those breakdowns that young players sometimes go through. Not just players, young people go through certain things and just are trying to learn on how to approach certain things. And Ja Morant is just completely doing the opposite. And we'll talk about Ja at the end of the show, so do not miss that. But right now, we're going to talk about the unbreakable things in the NBA. And there is one unbreakable thing, which is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant might seem pretty breakable at times because, we see that his knees break down. At times he has a sprained ankle or whatnot. But it just seemed like watching Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and the cast on Sunday morning taking down the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, we see that Kyrie is in Dallas. We see that Luka is in Dallas. We also see Robert Woods in Dallas out there too. But no one saw this really coming. Everyone maybe thought, well, Kevin Durant's not the same player no more. This is 2023. This is not 2014. This is Kevin Durant coming and dropping 37 points in Dallas to win on the game-winning shot in the last few seconds. KD himself is pretty much capable of taking the Phoenix Suns to the NBA Finals. I'm right there kind of leaning sideways and kind of thinking, well, they might have a very good chance of winning the NBA Finals. Vegas still has the odds at the Boston Celtics being favored at a plus 300, and the Phoenix Suns at a plus 700 to win the NBA Finals. So the Suns are right there, right behind the Boston Celtics into trying to take over, because you certainly can see this happen right now. You see Kyrie Irving, you see Kevin Durant, those two kind of colliding for maybe the best spot in the West, because both of those two guys were in the East on the same team just 3 weeks ago, on the same team. Now they're facing each other and trying to battle it out and to see who's going to win the Western Conference, because honestly, the Golden State Warriors, after watching the way they play on Sunday afternoon against the Lakers, they're not the same team. Even though with Steph Curry coming in and being how great he was, dropping 27, 17 in the fourth quarter, just impressive by Steph Curry in his first day coming back. But Warriors are out. The Lakers, yes, we want to believe in the Lakers right now. We want to see that they're 2-2 right now without LeBron in the last 4 games. So they're kind of trying to stay above water right now. The Clippers, on the other hand, they finally won their first game with Russell Westbrook on Sunday night. The Memphis Grizzlies, they're kind of going downhill with the whole situation with Ja Morant, losing Brandon Clark to a torn Achilles. They're just maybe not going to be all there. The focus in Memphis is not going to be all there. Denver, I want to buy into Denver, but I just cannot buy into Denver, them being a full stock team. I see they got Jokic. I see they got Michael Porter Jr. They got Jamal Murray. Everybody else besides that, I don't know, it's making me kind of scratch my head a little bit and be like, well, Phoenix overall, they got a much better talent than that. So Portland, out of the picture. Sacramento Kings are having their year of the decade. They have not had a year like this or even made the playoffs in almost 20 years. So Sacramento is not going to hurt anybody late in the season. But I think, honestly, it's going to be the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals. You can just see that and picture that, and seeing the way the Western Conference is just pretty much open for anybody out there. I mean, the Lakers have been pretty bad all year long. And for them to be 2.5 games away from the 6th spot in the Western Conference lets you know how bad the Western Conference is right now. So, with that being said, the Suns, the new ownership, they had a new owner. Day one, he traded for Kevin Durant 12 hours later. So, you know that the Phoenix Suns are all in. James Jones, that man deserves a lot of credit. James Jones, the GM for the Phoenix Suns, formerly a player just a few years ago, not too long away, separated from the league. But James Jones has done a remarkable job in Phoenix. They're doing a hell of a job out there. I'm very surprised that they swang for the fence. They swang. Not another team would have done this. Not another team, and especially knowing that maybe if you're going to get a talent like KD back to Phoenix, you're going to have to give up maybe Chris Paul, maybe DeAndre Ayton, or maybe even Devin Booker if that's the case. They held on to all three of them and added Kevin Durant to the lineup. So KD, remarkable 37 points above Luka Doncic's 34 points he had. But there was a situation. This is one thing that I do want to mention about the Devin Booker and Luka Doncic situation that happened late in the game. I mean, whoever missed this was a funny situation that happened on live television, in a live situation where, they were late in the fourth quarter, 3 seconds left, I believe there was on the clock. Suns up by 2. The Suns are up by 2. Luka is backing up his defender. Luka gets up right under the basket, and he kind of just lays it up, thinking he was going to go in and tie up the game with 2 seconds left, and that ball just hit the rim, it went around, and it came back out. They missed it. KD grabbed the rebound, game over. But right before that, Mr. Devin Booker, who I love Devin Booker as a player. I think he's a very good guy. I really never had a problem with Devin Booker, but there's certain times that when you're a talker and you love to compete and talk trash out on the court, which that's what happens in the NBA when you're out there. You may not hear it all the time, but they're talking down there. But a lot of times people say, well, hey, make sure you talk in the beginning of the game, or maybe in the second quarter, maybe in the third quarter, or maybe even in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Talk all your trash you want. Compete. But don't talk when you won the game and you kind of kept your mouth shut throughout the whole 48 minutes. Don't talk when there's only a second left on the clock and Luka Doncic misses the little layup and you guys win the game, Devin Booker. It seems like Devin Booker kind of made the little thing like, oh, how can you miss from right there? He kind of made a little thing there for Luka Doncic to kind of catch attention and get upset. And Luka took it right to Devin Booker's face. I mean, they were literally like this. They were about to make out or something, it seemed like. But, I mean, both of those two guys, they have a lot of anger and passion behind them, especially Devin Booker after Luka Doncic took out the Phoenix Suns in Game 7 last season. Which a lot of people never expected that. They expected the Phoenix Suns to go back to the finals. But Luka Doncic and the Mavs took them down last year. And now there's a little bit of, heat, a little bit of anger. That's why it just seems to me that the Mavs and the Suns are going to be in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, I don't see any other team right now besides them talking about the Western Conference and talking about how great that game was on Sunday morning. Believe it or not, I'm going to go ahead and talk about how great the Lakers looked on Sunday afternoon against the Golden State Warriors when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
Yes, we are back here at the Infinity Studios in Los Angeles, and I'm happy. You know what? I'm actually happy that it's no longer raining, even though it was somewhat raining yesterday here in Los Angeles, but the rain is kind of out. It's sunny and bright here in Los Angeles, but we know that when it's bright in Los Angeles, it's always bright on one individual, and right now this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about whether we're going to break it or leave it. That is the segment right now we're going to have. We're going to break it or leave it. And right now, I definitely want to leave this situation because I'm talking about a broken man in Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis performed to the best that he can on Sunday afternoon against the Golden State Warriors, as you know, the Lakers weren't favorites at all to win that game. But AD stepped up, scored 39 points, 15 rebounds. It was just that AD that we want him to be when LeBron James is on the court. But when LeBron James is on the court, that's not the Anthony Davis we get. So what can the Lakers do? Or what can Darvin Ham do to get that AD when LeBron is in the lineup and D'Angelo Russell and every other guy when the Lakers are healthy? What can the Lakers do? I personally think there's nothing you can do, especially when you have a guy like LeBron James on the court that he needs the ball in his hands. He cannot play without the ball. Maybe he can if Darvin Ham puts his big boy pants on and tells LeBron, hey, LeBron, go stand over there. Do this, do that. No, you're going to go ahead and let LeBron be the point guard. You cannot have LeBron James be the point guard at age 38. You just can't. You got to be able to overthink and think ahead and counter the defense because you know that the defense is prepared to stop LeBron James. I mean, that's on the scouting report. Every single time you face the Lakers when LeBron's healthy, you got LeBron James right there. Okay, everyone eyes on LeBron. So if you put LeBron on the corner, you're going to get eyeballs looking away from the basket. You're going to have a guy like D'Angelo Russell, Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley hitting some shots, cutting down to the basket. Austin Reeves. I mean, if there is nobody else a bigger fan than Austin Reeves, for Austin Reeves, that's me. I love Austin Reeves. I love how great of he's like an energized bunny out there. Like I don't know. I gotta find a perfect nickname for Austin Reeves because Austin Reeves does all the dirty work. He has some sort of confidence that not a lot of guys have out there. This is a second year in the league for him. Second year, barely. I mean, it's incredible what Austin Reeves could do for this ball club moving forward. If I tell any Laker fans out there, anybody out there, you, the viewer watching right now, who would you take? Austin Reeves or Alex Caruso? I loved Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso is an NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers, but no, you cannot compare Alex Caruso to Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is a much better rebounder. He's a much better scorer off the dribble, from the corner, from whatever way you want Austin Reeves to score. He's a much better scorer. He's maybe not a better dunker than Alex Caruso because Caruso was flying at times. Flying. But you cannot compare Austin Reeves to Alex Caruso. That's one thing that I just want to put it out there right now. But looking at the way the Lakers perform against the Golden State Warriors, it kind of lets you know that the Warriors are not the same Warriors team they were last season. You cannot expect the Warriors to even maybe make it to the second round of the playoffs. You just can't, especially with the way Curry's ankles are this year. He hasn't been on the court all for almost 20-some games all season long. He's been missing a lot of basketball games, so that team is just not all there and put together, especially with a broken down Draymond Green, who's missed about the same amount of games as Stephen Curry, and that team is just not put together. But the Lakers, there is one thing that the Lakers can do, is leave the situation with Anthony Davis. You got to leave Anthony Davis in this offseason. This offseason, they got to find a way to package Anthony Davis. Imagine all the picks, or not even picks, talent you can get in return to put next to LeBron James, or maybe next to LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, which that is a speculation out there. They are hearing and saying that Kyrie does want to come to Los Angeles this summer. So the Lakers got to find ways to make some money, open up some money, open up the cap room out there for Kyrie Irving. Because at the end of the day, if I give you two situations right now, I give you plan A and plan B. Plan A, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Plan B, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. You pick. I'm going with plan B. I am not going to deal with Anthony Davis being so inconsistent with his play. I'm not. And Kyrie, I know Kyrie's going to give me 25, 10, and 5 every single day. I know that. I know Kyrie is not afraid of the moment. He's definitely not. So the Lakers could leave this situation and break it all up. Yes, we traded Lonzo Ball. We traded Larry Nance. We traded all these guys, Brandon Ingram, to get Anthony Davis. We got what we wanted, an NBA champion. Now we got to move forward. And that's one situation that the Lakers definitely got to go ahead and do. They definitely got to go ahead and do that. But there's another team in Los Angeles that kind of went away from what they were normally doing to try to take something away from the Lakers. They didn't take no championships away from the Lakers. They didn't take nothing, nothing but a number 0 in Russell Westbrook. The Clippers were 0-5 in the first game with Russell Westbrook being a starter. 0-5, 2 straight games lost in overtime. You just seemed that at one point you didn't believe in this team. You cannot believe in the Clippers at all during those first 5 games that they lost. They just look so out of order at times in the offensive end. I mean, they're somewhat of a good defensive team. They can defend the ball. They can defend everything out there. That's maybe the reason why they're very competitive out there. But when it comes to the offense now, I have not missed one of those first 6 games with Russell Westbrook on the Clippers. I haven't. I've seen them all. I've been keeping my eye on Russell Westbrook. I wanted to see how he makes that team different, or how he performs with that team, especially the way he was being criticized with the Los Angeles Lakers. But the Clippers, on Sunday night at the Crypto.com Arena, facing the messed up Memphis Grizzlies with no Ja, no Brandon Clark, or even Desmond Bane or anything. None of those guys were playing on Sunday night. The Clippers were heading into the fourth quarter being down 13 points. The Clippers were down 13 points to the Memphis Grizzlies and came back to win it. I was watching the game, and I'm just like, I feel bad for Ty Lue. I feel very bad for the Clipper fans and Clipper Nation, because the moment Russell Westbrook stepped into their lineup and he started, if everyone saw that video, it's so crazy to see the video where Draymond Green was defending and guarding Russell Westbrook, and he gave them about 15 feet of room. 15 feet of room. Draymond Green was literally right under the basket, letting Russell Westbrook take a 3 from the top of the key, and Westbrook didn't even take the shot. A lot of people say out there, and shooters say, hey, if they're leaving you open, shoot it. Shoot it. No matter if you go 0-5 and you miss all 5. You know that the 6th attempt, they're going to somewhat come out to you because they know you're going to shoot. And that's when you get them off the dribble. You do something else, but you got to take that shot, Russell Westbrook. You just cannot let the defense control you. That was an ugly, ugly image to see how big of a distance they had. Huge. It's like Draymond was a block away. And Russell Westbrook did not want to shoot the ball, but he definitely shot the ball well on Sunday night against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they picked up their first win with Russell Westbrook. Now, the Clippers are 1-6 with Russell Westbrook. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how that season ends, because I definitely want to see it crumble down, as any other local LA fans want to see the Clippers not succeed. And that's the reason why. But when we return here on These Are the Breaks, I'm going to go ahead and touch a little bit on the money bank. Someone cashed out a big check in the NFL, and I will let you know when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Yeah, we're back here on These Are the Breaks. Myself, Fredo, Cervantes here at the Infinity Studios, man. And believe it or not, the former Raider quarterback, Derek Carr, finally is getting a makeover. Yes, that's right. The New Orleans Saints are pimping a ride. Why am I saying that? Because it seems like this is a crazy situation that you gotta have to look at. A player that's been with the team for almost a decade, in Derek Carr with the Las Vegas, formerly Oakland Raiders. You see a guy who had the skill set and has the body build to be a quarterback in the NFL. He just has not been making the right decisions. Interceptions after interceptions, fumbles after fumbles. Bad, crucial mistakes at bad moments at times. That organization, the Oakland Raiders and the Las Vegas Raiders, were kind of frustrated, tired of it, knowing that they weren't going to get anywhere with this car. And at times, I was a big fan of Pimp My Ride. I was a big fan of it. MTV show, Exhibit. Every time they wanted to pimp someone's car, they go out to that individual's house. They'll knock on the door. Hey, we're here to pimp your ride. And the guy came out so happy, and he's like, wait, no way. You're going to pimp my ride? You're going to fix that beat-up bucket? I mean, it's funny where there were certain cars that were just beat up, and there was nothing you can do. It's like, I'm not getting in that car for anything, for no reason at all. And then it took for the New Orleans Saints to be like, you know what? We like that car. Can we pimp your ride? And that's what they asked Derek Carr. And Derek Carr's, yeah, you can definitely pimp my ride. Pimp it out. And that's exactly what the Saints did. They grabbed a beat-up car, and now they made it look like it's brand new. Because now I'm a fan of the New Orleans Saints. Now I'm looking at what the New Orleans Saints are doing with Derek Carr into putting him around veterans, people who want to win, an organization that knows about winning. They're one of the top organizations in the league that are well-respected. They got a lot of guys out in that field. They got a guy like Alvin Kamara. They got Michael Thomas. They got a lot of great defensive players that team is a quarterback away from possibly making some noise. When you look at that division, let me let you know something. Maybe you don't know this. The division that the New Orleans Saints are in, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got the Carolina Panthers. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have nothing in that division right there. Nothing. You got the Atlanta Falcons, who are at the bottom of the league. The Panthers gave up on Teddy Bridgewater and Baker Mayfield. The Buccaneers, Tom Brady ran away. There's nobody in that division. Derek Carr comes into that division being the best quarterback in that division. Derek Carr being in the AFC West was at the end of the division. You had a guy that just had Russell Wilson came in, looked like a clown all year long. You had a guy that won the Super Bowl in Patrick Mahomes. And he had another guy who had a devastating crush meltdown in the playoffs in Justin Herbert. You were not meant to be in the AFC West to compete with these quarterbacks and these teams, especially playing for the organization like the Oakland Raiders. So now you move on to the New Orleans Saints. Now you have a brighter future. You sign a 4-year contract worth up to $150 million. You're getting 100 guaranteed. You're getting 60 in the first year. So Derek Carr just got his ride pimped out by the New Orleans Saints. So everyone got to keep out for the New Orleans Saints. I'm telling you that right now. Derek Carr is maybe now a top 3 quarterback in the NFC. If you see, all the quarterbacks are in the AFC. All of them. Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, Mark Jones, Zach Wilson, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. What else do you want? Everyone is in the AFC. So Derek Carr is now in the NFC, maybe one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. And that makes me laugh when I say Derek Carr is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. It's crazy. It's funny. But one other situation that's not funny. This is not funny. And this is when it gets serious. This is when it gets serious. And it gets serious to the point that I'm actually going to think and say the right things here, because you wake up, and this is not everyone. Well, of course, everyone wakes up, but you wake up on the morning and you see my first thing I see on my notifications. I see a lot of tweets, and sometimes when I see a lot of things, I'm like, okay, what's happening? Something is trending. Something wild is happening, and you see the situation that Ja Morant got into this past Saturday afternoon, or you can call it Saturday early morning in Colorado. Rewind 10 hours prior to that incident that happened in Colorado on Saturday morning. Friday night, the Memphis Grizzlies visited the Denver Nuggets. They were playing on primetime, ESPN, against Nikola Jokic and them. Ja Morant and the Grizzlies were up by 13 points in the first half. They were up by 13 points, beating them down, destroying them. One of the best teams in the West. But then it comes to third quarter. In the fourth quarter, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies went silent. Ja Morant was 2 for 12 from the field in the second half, dropping a big game in Denver where it really mattered for the team. You're upset. You got to be mad. You just lost a very close game in Denver. A very close game after having a bad second half. Okay, you got to get on the planes. You're leaving Denver Friday night, and you got to head back to LA. You got to be in LA by Saturday afternoon, because that's protocol in the NBA. Especially when you got a game over 500 miles. You got to fly a few hours ahead of time in order to give the players enough rest. So I'm guessing Ja Morant's like, well, you know what? I'm not going back to the hotel room. Guess where Ja Morant ends up going to? He goes to the Shotgun Willie's. Shotgun Willie's. And some people out in Denver might know what Shotgun Willie's is. Shotgun Willie's is a strip club in Denver. Closest till 5 a.m. And what was Ja Morant doing at 5:18 a.m. Eastern time? He was waving his gun on IG Live. You have to be one of the stupidest players out there to be doing something like that. Why are you going to be waving a gun on IG Live, being at a strip club? I mean, if you're going to be at the strip club, do something else. What guys and typical people do at a strip club. Not go inside there and be waving your freaking gun. I mean, it's illegal to possess a gun in Colorado under the influence of alcohol. Every individual in that club was drinking alcohol that night. Monday morning, the Colorado police are investigating and getting to the bottom of this, because it is illegal in the state of Colorado to have and possess a gun, a loaded gun, under the influence of alcohol. That's the case. So Ja Morant, do some better choices, because this definitely is not going to look good for you. I can see this coming. 15, 20 game suspension. End of the season suspension. Something like that. It's crazy. It's nuts. Ja Morant, get your shit together. And that's it. These are the breaks. Which, Ja Morant, you need a break.